So, my name is Nicole Caparis, and I'm a dietitian who runs Become a Dietitian. And today I am going to go live with the video dietitian whose name is April. So, I'm going to add her to this call now. All right. Hello, April.
Hi, Nicole. Thanks for having me. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about video with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. So, I'm so glad you can come and talk to my audience.
Thank you for having
So
me.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure that people on this page don't really know a whole lot about you or what you do. And so would you mind just sharing a little bit about who you are and how you got started with the video dietitian?
Absolutely. So my name is April Sins. My Instagram handle is the video dietitian. And the way that I got started, Nicole, was it was kind of by accident. I really was not planning to be on video. It was not really my cup of tea. It wasn't something that I set out to do. It was really by accident. And the reason why, what happened was I opened up a business, which was a cooking school for kids. And when I opened up that business, I opened up the business to cook with kids. I didn't realize that I was going to have to do all this marketing, all this advertisement, so that I could be the best known cooking school in the area. And so what I realized is that, hey, I need to get the word out. Well, all of a sudden, the news called just out of the blue. They called me and they said, we love what you're doing with the kids. We saw a Facebook event or something like that, and we'd love for you to come in and talk about that. And I never wanted to be on the news. So throughout my career, every time I was offered to either be on the news or be in front of a camera just on site somewhere or on the radio, I would always say, I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to find somebody that would like to do that. I would always pass it along. But whenever the news called me and I'm in my own business and I had to really just dive in, my mouth said yes and my brain said, what did you just sign up for? Now you have to go and do it. And it's kind of funny because it's like my subconscious was sort of talking to me, telling me, hey, you know what? You need to just branch out and go and try this. So I went the next morning and I went on the news and I was like, this is so much fun. I absolutely love it. This is, and I kind of was like, when do y'all want to have me back? I want to come back. And so the more that I did the news, the more comfortable I got with it. However, I had to be on their schedule. I couldn't just go whenever I wanted to, and it was just like once a month. So I said, you know what? I need to do some things on my own to get myself out there. So I pulled out my cell phone and I started going on Facebook Live often. And what happened is that the people that were in my audience and the people, just more and more people started to know about my cooking school. They were able to ask questions. They were able to get to know me online before even coming into my shop. So it really just opened up this door of people getting to know me getting the word out and becoming known. And then what happened after that, a couple of years later, a grocery store asked, had me come and be a retail dietitian for them because they saw that I was doing all these things on video, and it's such a useful tool. So I always encourage people that even if this could be something that you could bring to your full-time job if you want, and really, kind of branch out and really grow things. This could be something that you're doing for yourself to grow your side hustle or grow your own brand. So there's so many uses to video.
Yeah, I really liked how you mentioned how by going on video you were able to reach different people that
Mhm.
maybe you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise, because like that way they were able to see your video and then connect with you and see what you do and maybe then be helped through you and through your business. So I think that's a very important part of like being on like doing videos.
Yes,
So
yes, getting uncomfortable sometimes leads you into a different area that you never expected. And it's like it kind of opens up your mind to new things.
yeah, and gives you skills for wherever it leads you in life too, as you said, like in future jobs with your
Mhm.
being a retail dietitian and all that
Yeah.
too. So
Hmm.
so part of my audience is RD to Bs as well as a little bit of RDs mixed in. So what would you say to an RD to B or an RD who is getting started with using video? And any recommendations you have if they're like nervous about getting started on camera?
The first part of the question is that it's never too early. So even if you're still, you're in school, you don't have your degree yet, you're in your dietetic internship, any of the above, it's not too early to get started. And what I want you to think about is that you are getting education. Now, I'm not telling you to give out like recommendations or do anything that you're not licensed to do, but you have the nutritional knowledge that you can share along the way. There's also things that you could say, hey, today in class I learned about this. So there's different things that you can do, and it's not too early. It takes time to grow an audience. It's not going to happen overnight. A lot of people think like, oh, a viral video, I'm going to grow overnight. But a viral video sometimes is not going to reach the people that you're trying to reach. You might reach with a viral video of your dog doing a flip, but that's not really like about nutrition. It's not really going to be the what you're trying to get people to follow you for, or to people that you're trying to reach to give them to help them. So that's number one, is it's not too early. I actually know some dietitians that started on video before they've even finished, they've even become an RD, and they already have a huge following. So whenever they get their credentials, they already have this big audience. So it's really great. And a lot of them are like sharing recipes and things like that, which is very, very popular thing to that a lot of people are looking for, is recipe ideas, especially like looking for nutritious things. Now, if they're a little bit nervous, I have to say, well, sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone to get more comfortable. But one thing is that you can, try recording yourself without posting it. That is one thing that you can do. So it could kind of get you used to, a lot of times when you're not used to hearing yourself or seeing yourself, it's just because we're not used to looking at ourselves, and hearing ourselves. So getting used to that and playing it over and over sometimes. I'll tell you a funny story is whenever I first started on video, I used to watch like after I go in the news or after I'd post something, I would watch it over and over. And my husband would walk into the room and he would say, do you just love watching yourself? Like, why are you keep watching your videos? And I just laugh and I said, it's not because I love watching myself, but I'm looking at, okay, what are the things that I'm doing that I like, that I want to keep doing? And what are the things that I want to work on? So one thing that I used to do a lot is I would say, but I didn't even know I was saying it. It would just come out. And so through watching my own videos back, then I would notice it and it made me more conscious of it. I still fall into that habit sometimes, but you have to really like watch it to do that. Now that can be helpful with getting over the nerves and doing that. But also just keeping in mind that we have to really, it's hard to get people's attention nowadays. And so we have just a couple of seconds to get people's attention whenever they're scrolling on social media. And so just think about, what can you say that can help somebody lean in to want to hear more about what you're going to talk about. That's for one thing. Another thing is that you can also do some things like think about, if only people were thinking about us as often as we want them to, that would be great. So post it and just put it out there. The more you post, the more you're going to get results back that's going to tell you what you should post more of. So you have to do it to be able to get the results. I'm going to compare it to clinical. So when you're talking to a patient, and if you haven't graduated yet, just think about this whenever you go in your internship and things. When you're talking to a patient and you're giving them some dietary changes, some advice, their lab work is going to be like a key indicator on whether that's working or not. And so if they don't make the changes, their lab work's not going to change. So I'm going to compare video to that. So if you don't post videos, you're not going to get the information that you could get to tell you what do people want to see more of, and what's not, what's working, what's resonating, what kind of questions are people asking you. So there's just a lot of different things, but just it's not too early to start.
Yeah, that's very important to remember that like the more you post, the more you will learn more about your audience and find what works for you and maybe what doesn't work for you so that you can tailor your videos to like reach the audience that you want to reach better in the future. So, and I really like that you said it's never too early to start, because I think even for me as now a new dietitian, it was very scary for me to put myself on video because I was afraid like I maybe would post the wrong things that like I could get in trouble for or whatever. And so like I was too afraid to start because I was just like, this has to be perfect, or this like um I don't know if I like am allowed to post about certain things. So I just never like I didn't start. And then once I was like, all right, I have to start so I can start gaining an audience, then like I started getting like I'm still working on it. I'm definitely a work in progress, but I'm starting to get more comfortable on camera too. I think it's very important to, like as you said, maybe just like record yourself and then watch yourself like talking and then see what you like and what you don't like and what things that you do, like you said, saying I also say like and so depending on the conversation that I'm having, sometimes I'm a little bit more nervous if I'm talking about what I'm doing and all of that. So it's definitely important to pay attention to little habits like that and trying to work towards making those changes. um, I don't
I,
know if you have to say on
I
that,
love,
but
well, first of all, I commend you on, you said you were nervous about getting on camera, and then now you're doing it and you're doing a great job with it. It's allowing you to talk to your audience to help more people become dietitians. So it really opens up that space of communication. And whenever somebody messages you, they feel like they already know you because they can see you on camera. And that's really one of those key things. And Katie says, done is better than perfect. Absolutely. So whenever you think about perfectionism, think about this, because a lot of people struggle with that. And I think that a lot of people come up with a lot of different reasons why they don't want to get on video, but a lot of it kind of circles around perfectionism. It circles around mindset. And the thing, because people will say like, I'm not technical. I don't know, how to do this. They'll come up with all these different reasons. But the thing to remember, and I think that this is a really big key, is that being imperfect is very relatable for people. That's why a lot of people like to watch videos like you and I are doing on lives, because they like that natural imperfectionism that comes out in a live. They know that we can't stop and we can't edit this live. So a lot of people like watching live videos. They might not watch it live, but they'll go back and watch it after the fact because it was live. And so there's something about being imperfect that people can relate to, and that kind of makes them feel like more comfortable with you.
yeah, I feel like, as Katie had said, done is better than perfect. I definitely feel like even with me watching other people online, I feel like I like relate to people because they're genuine and not just trying to post like things that are perfect and that are fake, because like you can tell sometimes if people are being really fake and not being their genuine self. So I feel like it's
Yes.
definitely, yeah, important to
Yeah.
be genuine. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And whenever you were talking about you were scared you were going to say something that you weren't allowed to say, because like if it was before you got your RD credential, or it was, so do just post things that are not just for a licensed professional. I mean, just post. You can talk about science. You can talk about hey, there was a study that I read. I mean, you can talk about those sorts of things. It's not like locked down. You're not giving medical advice. So or how to cut a pomegranate. Like something like that. I mean, it could be very, very simple things. Sometimes I think we overthink things, and that overthinking can also sort of paralyze us from doing things outside of our comfort zone. we can, that's another reason why we might come up with that reason, like, okay, I can't do it because I don't know what to say. So plan it out, those things out. If you're not sure if it's something that you can or can't say, then by having a plan, you could go to another dietitian mentor if you're not sure, and then you can get their advice on whether that's something that you could say or not too.
Yeah, I think that's very important advice. I think I was just too scared, so I just never did it. And I think also I feel like there might have been just some outside like voices in my head too of like, oh, you have to be this way or that way. Like maybe like you need to have your license to speak about this or whatever have you. And so I think that sometimes just outside influences like made me scared because I was like, oh no, someone's gonna see what I post and then they're gonna be like, you shouldn't be doing that. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I know. I think that we can sometimes like self-limit ourselves by thinking, by thinking about that. And, those are like legitimate thoughts. But sometimes it can sort of like be self-limiting at the same time. So if you have if anybody that's, watching has that same hindrance about being not sure, find out, reach out and find out, is it something that you can talk about? And it is something that's new. I mean, this was not available, not to date myself, but was not available when I was in school, to be able to do this. But speaking in front of people was always available. So I know exactly what you mean, because I would think to myself, okay, am I allowed to speak about this in front of this audience, a live audience or whatnot? Because I would, it's the same thing. So if you're unsure, ask a person that's a mentor to you in your profession, and have them kind of help you navigate through that.
yeah, that's very important advice. And I think that would be very helpful for some of the RD to Bs. Because I know I've had a few people like kind of say some things about that as well. That they're afraid of like maybe giving misinformation or not giving misinformation, but like getting started with doing certain things because they're not sure. So anyways, another question I have for you is, do you have like a couple top reasons for getting like why it's important for getting on camera and doing videos?
Yeah. Well, one of them I talked about earlier is, it's not too early to get on video. It takes some time to really grow an audience, grow your brand, and let people get to know you. But the thing is there's a lot of people on the internet talking about, something you just said, like giving out misinformation. There's a lot of people on the internet giving out misinformation. However, they have these huge followings, and people will follow them and listen to whatever they say. But they might not have that scientific background. They might not have that nutrition background, and they might not be basing it on anything except what they just think is true and accurate. So, as dietitians and healthcare professionals, getting on video and putting more of us on there to kind of drown out that noise, that's very, very important. And also, if you ever like want to help more people, video is the way to do it. So a lot of times, if we're talking to a person one-on-one, one-on-one is very special. It's very, very good. It's very, intimate. It's great. But we're so limited in how many people we can reach at a time. So whenever you get on video, you can reach hundreds, thousands. I mean, you don't know how many people you're going to reach. So that is really the beauty of it, is being able to have access to reaching more people. Um, one thing that a lot of people will tell me is that they don't have time to make videos. They don't have time to do that. But the thing is that actually, when you think about it, it saves time. People can watch this video 24/7. They can watch it at any time. They can watch it while we sleep. So we don't have to be there to talk with them. They can watch the video anytime. So it kind of like allows us to almost multiply ourselves to where, people have access to us all the time just by watching a video. And so it does multiply. It's almost like having, having clones because multiple people can watch you at the same time. So that is really important. And then before you know it, what happens is that people are going to tell you, I see you online all the time. And you're going to think to yourself, I'm not really on there that much. I might put one video up a day or one every other day or something. But they're probably seeing you more often than they're seeing any other healthcare professional. That's why they say they see you all the time. And so by having a consistent posting schedule, by having a plan, it can really allow you to reach more people and also basically kind of save you time because you're reaching a lot of people and they can see you anytime.
Yeah, I think that is very important to remember, that how much of a reach you can have as like by going on video, and also that you're out there spreading like good information and helping drown out the people that are not that are putting out misinformation. So those were two of the points that you said, is you have a lot more reach, and also that you are putting out good information. I think you had another point, but I forgot what it was. So but
yeah, I think people having access to you all the time, whenever they want, they can look at your videos.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so thank you for sharing all of that. So I know you have a workshop coming up. Do you want to share a little bit about that workshop and when it is?
Yeah, I'm so excited about the workshop. So it's next week. It is on November 12th and 13th. It's a 2-day, I call it a mini workshop because it's like 40 minutes each day. Day one, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into video confidence. And the reason why is because we're going to look at what are those things that are limiting us from getting on video? What are the possibilities of overcoming that? And what are some baby steps we can take to overcome that? And in day two, we're going to be talking about what are we going to do in 2025 to plan out like an outline of what we're going to be posting or making videos on. So I think that that's going to be very, very helpful to everybody that attends the workshop, because not only are you going to have some techniques on working on how to get more confident on video, but then you're also going to come out with how to find, what's your plan for 2025. Now that's going to be individualized, but I'm going to tell you how to figure out what would work on your platform for the next year.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have a plan and not just post randomly. I don't know if you want to share a little bit more about what people will get, and also where people can find you online.
Yeah, absolutely. And also there's going to be prizes at the mini workshop. That's very important too. We're going to have some prizes, but you have to attend live. And also if you go to the Video Dietitian Instagram page, you're going to find a couple of posts on there that have some giveaway opportunities as well. But you can find the link to the workshop. If you go to aprilsins.com, you can find the link to the workshop. And Nicole and I will probably share the link in our stories as well. And whenever you sign up, put that you saw us right here on Become a Dietitian as well with Nicole. And then, at the end of the workshop, I'm going to tell you about something fun that I'm going to be telling everybody about. Is if you feel like, okay, April, I know that, I want to do video, but I feel like I need somebody to kind of like give me some guidance and work with me a little bit closer. So I have an opportunity at the end of the workshop to sign up for, it's called Level Up Video Fast Track. This is a live course that I'll walk you through week by week. We have a live call. We do questions and answers. We do a lot together, and where in 5 weeks, you're going to go from being stuck to unstuck. And so that's a great opportunity too. I'll tell you more about that at the end of the workshop too.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, April, for coming on. And also you can find the link in my bio if you want to sign up for the workshop. So, but yeah, thank you for coming and speaking to my audience. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate what you do with informing people that want to become a dietitian, you know, take them from being a student to internship to becoming a dietitian, because it's an important profession, and it's great that you advocate for our profession. And so I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Nicole. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.